Let's go!
Hey, welcome back to Ali and Mates, where we learn new things about this wonderful world God created. I'm your host, Ali. Let's get going.
Ready? Fun fact of the week.
Have you ever sat on your feet for too long or lay on your arm in bed, and then when you've gotten up, your arms or leg feel all tingly or like it's buzzing on the inside?
It feels like little animals in my hands.
Yes, it does. They are called pins and needles. They're called that because the feeling almost feels like being prickled all over with tiny pins and needles. Pins and needles happen when your body forgets to listen to part of you for a little while. Sitting on a leg or lying on an arm can squish the blood and nerves there. Nerves send signals to your brain to tell it what to do or feel, and when they get squished, the signals get mixed up, making your skin feel all tingly. It doesn't hurt, it's just tickly or a bit uncomfortable, and it goes away once everything wakes up again. Have you ever had pins and needles before?
Sayings explained.
Welcome to Sayings Explained, where we take funny sounding things grown-ups say and figure out what they really mean. Today's saying is,
Throw in the towel.
don't throw in the towel.
Is this for doing swimming?
This saying actually comes from boxing. A long time ago, if a boxer was too tired to keep fighting, their coach would literally throw a towel into the boxing ring, and that was the signal that they were giving up. So now, when someone says, don't throw in the towel, it means they don't want you to quit or give up. Like if you've been trying to build a really tricky Magtiles tower and it keeps falling down and crashing, and your dad says, don't throw in the towel. It's because they believe you can do it if you keep trying. Or if your homework is super hard and you can't figure it out, you might want to throw in the towel, but instead of giving up, take a break, ask for help, and try again later.
Another saying explained. Ellie. Hey, Ellie, can you tell me a true story? True story time.
Do you know the name of the tallest mountain in the world? Yes, if you said Mount Everest, you're right. It's so tall, it goes nearly 9 kilometers into the sky. That's as high as a plane flying in the sky.
That is so high.
Now, in 1953, that's over 70 years ago, people weren't sure anyone could ever make it to the top. People had tried and failed. They thought it was impossible to survive because the air up there is super thin, which means you can barely breathe. And it's freezing cold, colder than your freezer. And the wind is some of the strongest on the planet. And climbers didn't have the fancy gear that we have today. No high-tech jackets, no lightweight boots or fancy tents, just heavy, woolly clothes, oxygen tanks like scuba divers to help them breathe, and maps that they drew themselves. Now that is when a beekeeper from New Zealand named Sir Edmund Hillary and a mountain guide from Nepal named Tenzing Norgay gave it a go. Step by step, ice axe by ice axe, they climbed for weeks. And on May 29th, 1953, they stood on the very top of Mount Everest, the first humans in history to do it. Even cooler, after that adventure, Sir Edmund Hillary, he spent his life helping the people of Nepal, building schools and hospitals. So next time you think something is too big to do or feels totally impossible, just imagine Sir Edmund Hillary once looked up at a mountain that's as high as a plane in the sky and said, let's give it a try.
Mystery sound. Can you guess the mystery sound?
Alrighty, time for our mystery sound. Listen closely and see if you can guess what this sound is. You might hear that at a party. If you guessed a can of soft drink being opened up, you are spot on. Well done. Cheers.
Words of life. Words of life. From the Bible.
Have you ever seen a mate or maybe your sibling being teased or treated unfairly? Maybe someone takes their toy or says something really mean.
I don't like it when people are rude.
That's right. When that happens, it's important to stand up for your friend. You can tell the person that's being rude to stop. You can say something kind to your friend. Give them a hug or play with them so they don't feel lonely and sad. Sometimes you might need to ask a grown-up for help too.
Even if I'm little?
Yeah, standing up for friends shows you care and it reminds us of what Jesus did. In the book of the Bible, John, chapter 15, verse 13, it says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Jesus showed the greatest love by giving his life for us. So just like Jesus, be brave, be kind, and stand up for your friends.
Kids Corner!
Okay, welcome to Kids Corner, where we share stories, jokes, or questions from our listeners. And today we have a joke from...
Hello, my name's Camilla. I'm 5 years old. This is my joke. What do you call Father Christmas at the beach?
What do you call him?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Thank you, Cammy. I love it. And if you would like your joke on the show, ask an adult to read the show notes.
Hey kids, it's Safety Sean here with today's safety tip. Do not eat mystery plants. Berries, leaves and seeds might look like food, but lots of them can actually make you very sick. So here's what you need to know. Never eat plants, berries or seeds you find outside unless a grown-up who really knows what they're doing says it's safe. You might see people doing it on TV shows or in a movie, but they're probably experts. Sometimes plants have toxins in their leaves or bark or their berries, so just to be safe, keep it all out of your mouth. You've probably learned in school that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have been eating bush tucker for thousands of years, but that knowledge was carefully passed down to them through their families and their communities, and if you don't have that knowledge, then it's too risky. If you're curious about something, ask a grown-up or learn from an expert, but don't go trying things yourself or you could end up in hospital. So remember, berries from the shop? Yes. Berries off a tree? Big no-no. This is Safety Sean, signing off.
History Tidbit.
Let's step back in time for today's history tidbit. These days, we can watch anything we want, whenever we want, right? Netflix, YouTube, ABC iView. But rewind 15 years ago, and TV was very different. There were only a few channels, and you couldn't just press play anytime. You had to watch the show when it was scheduled to be on.
But how did you know what was on TV?
Great question. Each week, a TV guide was included in the newspaper. It was like a big list that showed which shows were on and what time they would start. And families would look through the TV guide and circle the shows they wanted to watch and make a note of what time they started.
What if you missed the show that you wanted to see?
Well, too bad. You missed it. There was no pausing, no replays, no watching later. If Bluey was on Saturday morning, you had to be ready in front of the TV at exactly the right time to watch it. Otherwise, you'd have to wait a whole week for the next episode.
Wow, old TV sounds hard.
Before I say goodbye, let's check how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What does the saying, "don't throw in the towel" mean? Yeah, it means don't give up, don't quit. Well done. Question number 2, it's a tricky one. Maybe you can ask a grown-up to help. Who were the first 2 people to reach the top of Mount Everest in 1953? Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Good job. And final question, what do people call the tingly, buzzing feeling you get when your arm or your leg falls asleep? Pins and needles. Well done, everybody. That's a wrap on today's episode of Ali and Mates. Until next time, have fun, stay curious, and always be kind. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Have a great day.